welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Welcome back to the campus of the University of Minnesota. What a beautiful day, 53 degrees, just a light wind out of the southeast, and football is never better than when it is the NFC North and they go black and blue style. Minnesota won the toss, they deferred, so Detroit will receive to get us started. Very important NFC matchup. As you can see, Detroit and Green Bay at 3-2, Minnesota and Chicago at 2-3. And here's the kick. Jeremy Ross back deep to receive. And he'll stay right there. So the the Lions will start at their 20-yard line, and the veteran Matthew Stafford, Brendan, knows he's got to be better.
Yeah, he's actually off to his best season in terms of ball security. He's a little bit gun-shy, but let's see if we can get this thing going. They're definitely going to start pounding it with the run game.
Joyke Bell is in the backfield. No Reggie Bush today for the Lions. The toss to Bell. Nope, the fake. And it works to the near side of the field. Nicely done on the reception by Eric Ebron, the rookie tight end. And there's the people to watch. I just talked about Bell. Golden Tate, Brendan, coming off a wonderful day, although it wasn't defeat.
Yeah, he's had the last two games, had 100 yards. The last two games, this game, he's looking to do it again. And he's going to have to step up big today.
Now Theo Reddick in the backfield for the Lions. Gain of 12, so it's first down. Trying to work around the outside, and it'll be hit just a couple of yards deeper. Anthony Barr, the rookie out of UCLA. That's my partner.
My Bruin is showing up. You see Riddick's got that cutting capability. He's not a guy that's going to hammer the ball down in there like Bell. He's going to take a couple cuts and try to make guys miss.
One of the inspirational leaders is Captain Munnerlyn. Harrison Smith has been very good, and of course we just talked about the rookie Anthony Barr. Joyke Bell, single set, trying to work up the middle, breaks a few tackles, and he'll be close to a first down.
Bell is a downhill guy, just picking up from where he left off last week, going north and south, getting the first down.
So another first down for the Lions. Last week, a heartbreaker at home against the Bills. They lost 17-14. But Alex Henry, their field goal kicker, went 0 for 3. Theo Riddick again. Shotgun for Matthew Stafford. The drop, the catch, and near the midfield line, Golden Tate out of Notre Dame. Gain of 7 on that reception.
Tate with the quick slant right there. It's just like a handoff, a nice, easy play. Golden Tate has been the man stepping up.
2nd and 3 on the 50. Riddick. Stafford again in the shotgun. Little bit of pressure, he tosses it off. And room to run. Theo Riddick still on his feet. Inside the 10-yard line. Anthony Barr saves the touchdown. 41-yard long gain.
Great screen play. You're going to see Riddick slip behind the two offensive linemen. Raiola leads him downfield. Makes a couple guys miss on a huge gain.
First and goal on the 9. Opening drive for the Detroit Lions. Stafford has been outstanding. Joyke Bell, the single back. And he'll get 1, maybe 2 at best. Gerald Hodges out of Penn State with the stop.
Joe Lombardi's mixing it up, screen plays, quick slants, outside runs, inside runs, giving the Vikings and Don Zimmer a lot to think about in this first quarter on the first drive of the ball game.
The fullback, Jed Collins, comes in with Theo Riddick. And there is Mike Zimmer, the rookie head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Longtime defensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals. Second and goal from the 9. Stafford over the middle, touchdown! Theo Riddick with the touchdown catch.
Hodges let Riddick slip inside of him. Hodges actually had his best week of practice this week. Mike Zimmer was saying he needs to stay inside the number 2 receiver right there, actually at running back.
We'll get into the kicking story later, partner, but I will tell you that Matt Prater is on to attempt the point after. Just signed on Tuesday by the Lions.
That's called an angle route right there. When the running back pretends like he's going to the flat, angles in. Hodges should have maintained
previous play
inside leverage.
is going to be reviewed.
All right, they're going to look at it. Little review, and we'll come back to Minneapolis on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine.
Theo Riddick, the second-year running back who missed
Touchdown.
who missed last week's game, and it was just confirmed, gets the 9-yard touchdown reception. He also had a big 41-yard catch on that opening drive.
Riddick stepping up huge for Bush today.
Matt Prater for the point after. The kick is up, and it's good. Stafford 4 for 4, 69 yards on the 7-play drive. That took 80 yards in 3 minutes and 54 seconds.
Game is sponsored by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Welcome back to the NFL on Fox. The Minnesota Vikings have allowed an NFL worst, now 51 points in the first quarter, a -20 differential. The Vikings hope Teddy Bridgewater can tie this game up quickly. Sam Martin to kick it off. Cordero Patterson back deep to receive. The squib kick. And it's played nicely, 35-yard line. And a good effort by Jerome Felton. When you talk to Mike Zimmer about this man, Teddy Bridgewater, Brendan, you and I did yesterday, it's like, I love him. I like everything about him, on and off the field.
The guy's eyes absolutely light up when he talks about Teddy Bridgewater. His feet, his arms, his quiet leadership. Now they're expecting that to translate onto the field on Sunday.
Good ball position for the Vikings. 1st and 10 on their 41-yard line. Jarrett McKinnon, the rookie in the backfield. Here's McKinnon trying to dance around, and he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Brendan, let's talk about some of the other guys to watch on Minnesota's offense. Of course, Matt Asiata has taken up some of the slack with Adrian Peterson gone. McKinnon we talked about, and Patterson is a dynamic scorer.
Yeah, McKinnon and Asiata, they're a 1-2 punch. They're going to be bringing it, but Cordero Patterson really has a red eye on him. They'll be looking to eliminate him from the game as much as they can.
McKinnon around the outside. He's got space, and near a first down. Good run for Jarrett McKinnon, the rookie out of Georgia Southern. The Lions defense came in #1 in the entire National Football League. And it's because of the guys up front and because of the play of a linebacker like DeAndre Levy.
DeAndre Levy stepping into his own. NFC Defensive Player of the Month in September, but Ndamukong Suh and Fairley, 2 first-round draft picks, those guys are absolutely monsters in the middle.
3rd and 3 from the 48. 4 wideouts. for Teddy Bridgewater. Bridgewater under pressure. Now he's got room. Bridgewater gets the first down. So a good first down for the Vikings, and let's check in with Kirk Menefee for a game break.
All right, Green Bay trying to win 3 straight since Aaron Rodgers told Packer fans to relax. They're off to a good start in Miami. He hooks up with Jordy Nelson for the 9-yard score and a quick 7-0 lead. Mike, Brendan, and Peter.
Thank you, Kirk. Vikings trying to answer the Lions' opening drive, and they're doing a good job of it. McKinnon again. McKinnon was big in the win over the Falcons, the same game in which Teddy Bridgewater played so well.
McKinnon gets the handoff up the middle, the double team. Levy gets blocked. McKinnon's able to get up the field and get the first down.
2nd and 1 on the Lions 38 from the shotgun. Again to McKinnon. The rookie 3rd-round draft pick. And the coaches talked about his strong lower body. He really battles.
Yeah, and you see right here, actually, he didn't get the first down on the last play. He's getting it right now. But he is their workhorse right now. He's a guy that's shifty. He can get up the field. When they want a banger, they put Asiata in the game. But right now, McKinnon is picking up the slack. And there's not much letdown since Peterson's been missing.
Coaches definitely said, next man up, and let's replace the offense by committee. From the 35.
Reverse.
The reverse, and it's coming our way. Moving in, Jarius Wright, and he's hauled down at the 15-yard line by Grover Quinn. A gain of 20 on the reverse to Jarius Wright.
Levy came off the edge, he had outside contain, he lost it on the reverse. That's why that play was able to spring.
1st and 10, ball on the 15. Solid drive to open the game for the Vikings. Looking end zone, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Grover Quinn. And so the Lions come up with a big play.
Great play. He's just reading the eyes right there of Teddy Bridgewater. The middle of the field was actually open. And he just jumped all over that.
So Bridgewater throws the first interception of his young NFL career. And the Lions still lead 7-0 here in Minneapolis.
This game on Fox is sponsored by your next truck, Ford F-150. By Burger King. For a limited time, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Grover Quinn with the interception. Detroit 7, Minnesota nothing. 7:34 remaining in the first quarter. George Wynn and Jed Collins in the backfield. Stafford gives to the big fullback, and he gains a few. Jasper Brinkley with the stop.
You see the quick play action fake. Bridgewater staring down Patterson the whole time. It's easy for Grover Quinn to just step right in front of that ball. He's just reading the eyes of the quarterback, playing fundamental defense back there at safety.
George Wynn of the Lions made his first pro start last week at home. He's a Southfield, Michigan kid, and he was very, very effective. Theo Riddick now behind Stafford. Corey Fuller in motion, up the middle, complete, and near a first down. Corey Fuller, the man I spoke of, with the reception.
Corey's having a heck of a ball game. I hope somebody started him in their fantasy football league today.
Right? Take a look at it again.
Riddick was open in the flat right there. He looks at his 1, then looks at his 2, looks at his 2, and then pulls the trigger.
Fuller spent all of last year on the Lions practice squad. He had 3 catches last week. That's his first today. 1st and 10 from the 28 for Stafford and the Lions. Again, the double back set. Stafford, incomplete. Intended for Golden Tate. And the coverage by Captain Munnerlyn.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 24, 5-yard penalty with an automatic. First down.
So it's Monuthan that will take the penalty. Take a look.
Can't have your hands on the guy after 5 yards. That's something that the refs are majoring this year. That's a lot different than last year.
Man, the Lions certainly wish that man was on the field. Calvin Johnson. Record-setting future Hall of Famer. It's amazing when you look at the numbers on a guy like Calvin Johnson, Brendan, just how effective and dominant they've been for many years. So it's 1st and 10 on the 33-yard line.
On curve. Ready, go 20! Go 20! Number 5! 50! Ready!
Man in motion. Stafford hands it off. Got a couple of blocks. And a nice run for Theo Riddick. Anthony Barr is there to stop him. Gain of 3. Head coach Jim Caldwell was very animated, to say the least, when we had a chance to visit with him yesterday. He is very motivational. He's extremely experienced, and he wants to win here.
Yeah, he's a guy that reads all kinds of different books, and he applies that to his team. He applies it to real life. It's Your Boat, Outliers, all these books that leaders read, and he's applying it to his team.
And he does a great Joe Paterno impression. 2nd and 7. Joe Bell. The handoff. Works his way to the 40-yard line, dragged down by Jasper Brinkley.
Stafford's impressed that Caldwell is really committed to the run this year. And also going back to Megatron, Caldwell said it's unique. You have a guy on your team that's the hardest worker and also the highest paid guy on the team with no ego whatsoever.
3rd and 3 for the Lions. They lead 7-0. The building here on the University of Minnesota campus gets loud.
I'll be looking for some crossing routes right here, right around the 1st down marker.
4 wide receivers. There's Stafford. He's got a man pretty open there, Brendan, but it is incomplete. Intended for the rookie, Eric Ebron.
A little bit of pressure up the middle. From Roberson, makes him get rid of the ball just a little bit faster than he wants to. You see Roberson coming on the stunt, the TE stunt. That's when the tackle and end switch assignments make him get rid of that ball just a little bit sooner than he wants to.
So the Lions will be forced to punt. And kick by Sam Martin. Sherrell's at the 15. Finds the outside, looking for a seam. Flags on the field as he is tackled at the 32-yard line by Mohamed Sese. 45-yard punt.
That's on the Lions. Special teams coordinator Mike Prefer's not going to be a happy guy. He always emphasizes technique
For sure.
and fundamentals on his special teams unit.
Return team, number 32, 10-yard penalty. 1st and 10, TV timeout.
Penalty on Anton Exum Jr. And Cisse with the stop a moment ago. We'll come back to Minneapolis. Teddy Bridgewater, the youngest Viking and the 3rd quarterback taken in this year's draft. 2nd opportunity for him from his own 20-yard line. And they give it to Jerome Fulton. And he'll lose a yard or 2 as we check in with Pete Schrager.
Yeah, guys, always curious to see how a rookie quarterback responds to an interception in the red zone. And Teddy came off and he said, "My bad." He told everyone, "It's my fault on that one." And he came right over and he spoke with quarterbacks coach Scott Turner and also Christian Ponder. Very upbeat, ready to go. Doesn't seem like he's too dejected from that big pick.
Thank you very much. He is a confident young man. And every coach or player that we spoke to who talked about him all said he is a future star. Matt Asiata. And the pitch back. Patterson will be taken down around the line of scrimmage.
You know, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. They had 44 yards of rushing in the first drive, and then they went with one pass play, had one interception, so they're going back to the run game right here. Build a little bit of confidence in Teddy, but he's going to have to convert on 3rd and long right here.
3rd and 9 from the 22. Asiata out, McKinnon in. Bridgewater from the shotgun. Looking for a target, and he's sacked. Good coverage downfield, and the sack by Ziggy Ansah and Ndamukong Suh. So the Vikings will be forced to punt.
Looking at Cordero the whole time, he's covered like a blanket, and that's basically a cover sack right there. Nowhere to go. Ansah converts on the sack, a guy that hasn't been playing football for too long, but a huge football IQ.
Jeff Locke to punt. Jeremy Ross to receive. He'll take it to the 35. 40, and he's taken down at the 45-yard line by Antone Exum Jr. Lions lead 7-0. The 4-time Pro Bowler Calvin Johnson re-aggravated his ankle injury last week. He's out of the lineup. Let's see how the Lions are able to respond. Joyke Bell, and a little pass from Stafford to the near side. Nice move by Golden Tate, but he stopped at the 40.
Golden Tate, not known as the fastest guy, but he does have one of the best stop and starts in the NFL. Offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi said that it's one of the best he's ever seen, and that's saying a lot since the guy can stop and start so fast.
Bell back in after the gain of 15 for Golden Tate. Ball at the 40-yard line of the Vikings. Bell, and he's taken down. Jasper Brinkley with the stop. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Reggie Bush, known as one of those guys that can cut, so I was very surprised when I heard Lombardi giving Golden Tate that much credit about his stopping and starting abilities.
I like how he said, Brendan, he goes from 60 to 0 almost immediately. Usually it's the other way around.
Absolutely.
Reddick in the backfield. And now Bell. Under a minute and a half remaining in the first quarter. Throws it to Theo Riddick. Riddick pulls ahead. And he's stopped by the rookie Anthony Barr. Gain of 7, 3rd and 3.
Just a quick throw. Give that Minnesota defense something to think about. Zimmer, known as a guy that likes to pressure. You can't really pressure when the ball comes out that fast. You see the nice block there. Riddick gets upfield. It's basically like a handoff. Pick up a couple extra yards.
So a big 3rd and 3 with under a minute remaining. Joyke Bell. Stafford off to a good start here against the Vikings. Vikings fans getting loud. Stafford tucks it, looking for an opening, and he is tackled short of the first down by Tom Johnson.
Good coverage by George Edwards' defense. Everybody's covered. The pocket collapses. Stafford pulls it down. And now the kick team's got to come on the field.
Well, and the kick team has been a big story for the Detroit Lions. We'll find out if Matt Prater might be the answer to the kicking game woes of Detroit when we come back.
The first quarter.
Alex Henry out, Matt Prater in. Lions kickers so far this year, 4 for 12, 1 for 9 outside of 40 yards. So the veteran Matt Prater, the new kicker for the Detroit Lions. This is a 50-yard field goal attempt. Last year, Prater was 25 of 26. The kick is up, and it is no good.
Maybe it's not the kicker, Mike.
That's a great point. We talked about that in our meetings, Brendan.
They just seem to be jinxed this year in the kicking game. They just can't nail it down. Wide left, Prater knows he missed it. First game back on the team.
And the reaction of the head coach, Jim Caldwell, always tries to be positive. So the Vikings get the ball back here early in quarter number 2. First and 10 from the 40. Into the flat. Jarrett McKinnon, and he's taken down at the 42-yard line. Gain of 2. Brings up a 2nd and 8. DeAndre Levy with the stop.
Little swing pass to McKinnon, nice and easy. Build up Bridgewater's confidence again after that interception. Get him going, some positive yardage.
Everybody talked about how mentally strong the youngster Teddy Bridgewater is. We'll find out. Receiver went down, and the pass incomplete. Intended for Jarius Wright.
Jarius Wright was wide open on that play right there. Runs a quick inside route.
He gets tripped. Tripped on one of the Lions players, right?
Can't just keep his feet right there. Would have been a huge play.
So it brings up a 3rd and 8. From the Vikings 42.
Another money down. Teddy Bridgewater needs to convert right here. Luckily, it's decent field position. Got to get the conversion on 3rd down.
Jennings goes in motion. 3 wides on the left side. Bridgewater. The ball is loose. He's trying to pick it up. Still on the ground. And the Vikings recover. Phil Lodeholt able to bring it in front of Ziggy Ansah. Great pressure by Ansah.
We had talked about Ansah before. He comes off the edge, swipes it down, sack fumble, almost recovers the ball. Bridgewater should just jump on top of the ball, but Ansah, a guy that's only been playing football for a few years, has picked up the game quite quickly, was a former soccer player.
Golden Tate back to receive the punt from Jeff Locke. Pardon me, Jeremy Ross, fair catch at the 27-yard line. And that is where the Lions will start. Tonight, it's game 2 of the NLCS as the Giants attempt to take a 2-games-to-none series lead, while the Cardinals look to even things up before hitting the road for game 3. Coverage begins tonight after football, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Mike, the Lions are playing a heck of a game on defense. They have sacks, interceptions, big hits. It's going to be a long day out there for Minnesota.
Well, we got to get something going against this #1 ranked defense in the NFL. Stafford in the offense here, though. They give to Bell. And he's finally hauled down. Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Rob Sims with the holding call.
The delayed draw right here. You see the hold on the offensive line. Bell bouncing off the tacklers.
So it brings up a 1st and 20 at the 17-yard line. Two wide outs to the far side. Play action. Stafford almost connected with Corey Fuller. Fuller covered nicely on the play. Xavier Rhodes out of Florida State with the coverage.
Nice clear window for Stafford to throw it to Rhodes, but broken up.
So now it is 2nd and 20 from the Lions' 17-yard line. They scored on the opening drive of the game. Stafford was 4 for 4 as Theo Reddick was big and earned himself the touchdown. Watch the clock. Got it off. Stafford under pressure, and it is incomplete. In and out of the arms of Golden Tate. Good pressure by Tom Johnson on Matthew Stafford.
And those hits hurt. You see Johnson gets off, no one blocks him, puts his shoulder right into Stafford's ribs and puts him right into the turf. quarterback's not going to last long taking hits like that all day, Mikey.
Third and 20. From the shotgun. Stafford dumps it off. Reddick trying to make his way up to the markers. He will not. Short of the first down. Brian Robeson with the stop. Gain of 15 brings up a 4th and 5, so the Lions will punt.
Little prevent defense right there. Robeson actually lined up at linebacker. Normally a defensive end. Goes and gets the tackle right there. Send the punt team on the field.
Marcus Sherrills back to receive. Good booming punt. All the way to the 6-yard line. Sherrills will be taken down around the 15. Big punt of 63 yards. It's 7-0.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. By KFC, the world's best chicken. How do you, KFC? And by Lowe's. Lowe's, never stop improving.
Welcome back, Mike Goldberg, Brendan Einbedejo. The Vikings will start at their own 17-yard line. They trail 7-0 after a big punt from Sam Martin. Bridgewater looking and incomplete. His intended receiver was Jarius Wright. And there's a flag on the play. Darius Slay had the coverage.
Illegal use of hands to the face, defense, number 31, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The veteran, Rashean Mathis. And he doesn't like it. So 1st and 10 from the 22. The handoff over to the left side. Gain of 3 for Jerick McKinnon. So it's 7-0 here in Minneapolis. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee for a game break.
Hey, Goldie, I hope you started Joe Flacco on your fantasy team. He's had 4 first-quarter touchdowns for Baltimore. This one to Michael Campanaro. They lead at 28-0, ready to start the second quarter down in Tampa.
Thank you very much, Kurt. Beautiful day for football here on the campus of the University of Minnesota. The rookie out of Georgia Southern has gotten a lot of carries today. And now a reception for Jared McKinnon. And he's hauled down near the first down marker by Rashean Mathis.
I'm impressed with McKinnon today. He's really picking up the slack. Right here, it's just an easy check down. McKinnon with the handoff. Checks down. Teddy said he's going to be looking at his check down today. Beats the outside leverage of the linebacker and picks up the first down.
Matt Asiata now in the backfield for McKinnon. 1st and 10 from the 33. Quick hit out to number 17, Jarius Wright. And he got maybe 1 or 2 yards. Gain of 3, they'll call it 2nd and 7.
This is the Norv Turner-esque type of offense. Yes. He's going to be throwing screens, some delayed run plays, trying to get Teddy some nice, easy completions to build up his confidence. Quick outside hits. I'll be expecting Norv to be attacking the middle sooner than later. And
we promise he's in there. He knows where to go. He likes this offense, and he's excited to work with Jim Caldwell. 2nd and 8. Bridgewater with the fake, dumps it off. And nothing there. Jerick McKinnon stopped by Ziggy.
Ziggy not fooled again. This guy's name's been coming up. We've only been playing 2 quarters of football. This must be the 5th time we've called his name today. He's got a sack, strip fumble. Right here on the screenplay, he's not fooled, stays at home and makes the tackle.
So it'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
This is not the situation you want to be in with a young quarterback. Having to pick up and convert on long, third down and long makes it very difficult.
The snap to Bridgewater. Waiting, and he is sacked. Ziggy Ansah, as we talked about once again, along with DeAndre Levy, and a sack on Teddy Bridgewater.
Levy's a guy that's been playing great football this year. He's stepped it up big since Tulloch went down with the ACL injury. You see Levy coming off the edge, Ansah off the other side. Levy gets there first, they will split that sack.
What a great story the man they called Ziggy is. Started in Ghana and played soccer in 2010, then came to the States. Jeremy Ross. And the Lions will start at their 32-yard line. The #1 ranked defense in the league is looking good so far. 8:44 remaining in the half. Lions lead the Vikings 7-0. Lions will start on their 31-yard line. Riddick has been very good thus far. He has the Lions touchdown. They fake Stafford. Looking outside, complete to Golden Tate. And he's hauled down on the play by Captain Munnerlyn. We talked injuries early. Let's check in with Peter Schrager for more.
Yeah, Mike, you know, the Vikings are already out without Chad Greenway, their star middle linebacker. He's nursing some ribs, but now they're also out with Gerald Hodges, who's filling in for Greenway. Look for Audie Cole, number 57, to fill in for him. They're checking out the hamstring of Hodges as we speak.
Peter, thank you very much. Greenway, the leading tackler for the Vikings the last 6 seasons. 2nd and 4. Stafford, right into the hands of Golden Tate. And he's near the midfield line, brought down by fellow Notre Damer, Robert Blanton.
Golden Tate attacking the middle of the defense. Nice, easy completion. Golden Tate stepped it up big. Megatron is down, but Golden Tate's actually been the leading target this year, actually.
He's been very consistent. They talk about, Brendan, his ability to utilize yards after the catch. They say he's as good as anyone. So a first down, 48-yard line.
Hey, kill!
The handoff around the outside. Theo Riddick. Gain of 2.
Stafford was mentioning that Golden Tate sometimes has a hard time lining up. When he's the primary target, he's lining everybody else up in the offense.
Golden Tate, free agent signing by the Detroit Lions. Last 4 years, he was a Seattle Seahawk, and of course, he won a Super Bowl. Hodges is back on the field, so that's good news for Vikings fans. 2nd and 8. Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll throw it away. Flag on the field. Pressure from Anthony Barr. Partner, we might have ourselves a holding.
Offense number 35, 10-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
There we go.
They got win on the hold. Got to get your hands inside. Wynn steps up to block the pressure off the edge. Blanton coming off the edge. You got to keep your hands inside. You see he's holding him. Spins. You see the jersey pull. The ref's going to throw the flag every single time.
2nd and 18. Stafford looks downfield, in and out of the hands of Golden Tate, covered by Captain Munnerlyn.
Normally Tate's got those sure hands, but right there just couldn't pull it down. Put a little air on that ball, Stafford did. Maybe had Tate thinking someone was going to come hit him while he was up there.
Munnerlyn spent the last 5 years in Carolina.
Tate wishes he had that one back.
3rd and 18. Stafford under pressure, still on his feet, looking, and almost finding a receiver. Good coverage downfield by the Vikings.
Great job by the defensive line. They ran twists, stunts on both sides of the line, put the pressure on Stafford, actually got him out of the pocket. Got him out of the pocket and even gave him a hit after he released the ball. Great stop right there by the Vikings. Let's see if they can put something together on offense now, Greeny.
Sam Martin to punt, Marcus Sherrills to receive. Standing on the 10-yard line. Martin had a booming 60-yard punt last time. Oh, off the bounce, but he had already called the fair catch. And this one goes 50 for the Lions, who lead 7-0.
Game is sponsored by Pizza Hut's Bacon and Cheese Stuffed Crust.
6:14 remains in the half. The Lions scored on their opening drive. We have not seen a touchdown or field goal since. Vikings will start from the 10-yard line. Matt Asiata with the carry. Breaks a few tackles. A flag is down on the field. Asiata ran for about 11 before being stopped by Levy.
Holding, offense, number 62. Half the distance to the goal. Replay, first down.
Vladimir Dukas. Brendan, it's been run by committee the last few weeks for the Vikings. Asiata, McKinnon, they're trying to pick up the slack with the loss, of course, of Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, McKinnon's been the most effective back there, so I think they go back to the well, but doesn't appear so right now.
First and 15 from the 5, and nowhere to go. Stopped immediately by Damakim Suh.
You talk about that Lions defensive line. Suh, fairly tap, a plethora of talent on that defensive line. The #1 rushing defense in the NFL.
Loss of 3.
If North can't get the pass game and the run game going, it's going to be tough sledding. We mentioned it earlier. Goldie.
Suh, a Pro Bowler as a rookie, also a Pro Bowler. That was 2011, also 2013 and 2014. Timeout on the field. Minnesota's going to use the timeout with 5:12 on the clock.
Timeout. Minnesota, teams first.
They'll try to reset their offense here in Minneapolis when we return. 2nd and 18 from the 2-yard line for Minnesota. After the timeout. The fake. Bridgewater throws wide, and it's complete. The reception to Charles Johnson. That's a big play. Yeah, we're thinking alike already, partner. Field position, that's a huge play.
Yeah, you want to be able to get some space for your punter, but right there, the stop route comes back, makes the completion. Now they got to get the first down, but now your punter at least has some space if you don't convert right here and try to flip this field, but most importantly, got to get the first down.
Gain of 14 brings up a 3rd and 4. Lone set, and it's off a Detroit Lions player. The intended receiver was Golden Tate, but good coverage on the play by Danny Gore.
Danny Gore, one of my former teammates, he knows this defense well. Terrell Austin brought him from Baltimore. Gore at the middle of the screen. Oh! You see that ball gets tipped there, almost intercepted, but Gore does need to hold inside leverage. He lost it right there and was lucky to break up the play.
Pardon me, we were talking so much about Golden Tate. I had him on the other team as well. Greg Jennings, the intended receiver. From the 35, Jeremy Ross. And he'll gain about 6 yards on the return. Andrew Sendejo with the special teams play. Fox tomorrow. Heroes and villains collide in the new drama everyone's talking about. Gotham. It's the story of the city that transformed a boy into a legend. Catch a new episode tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, right here on Fox. Mike Goldberg, Brendan Ayabadejo, Stafford of the Lions opened up 5 for 5, partner. Since then, he has just been 5 for 10. It was an opening drive that was extremely impressive with the help from Theo Riddick.
Ready! Plays up!
The fake. Pressure. And the sack to Everson. Griffin had pressure, as well as Jasper Brinkley. Loss of 10.
The play action pass, you want the linebackers to bite, but you gotta block. Offensive line isn't holding the front. You see Brinkley is able to run through, and a play that's intended to create space goes for a negative and loss of yardage. It's been a defensive battle so far, with one touchdown.
And after what happened a week ago Thursday at Green Bay, the Vikings have to be pleased with this defensive effort. 2nd and 20 from the shotgun. Complete. And all the way to the 40-yard line for Jeremy Ross. Gain of 8, and a 3rd and 12 will come forth.
Ross on the quick slant, able to get them back on track for a 3rd and long.
Ross, the coaches said, is always dangerous. Lions are 0 for 4 on 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 12.
See if Ross can clear this out for Ebron to get something in the middle.
Clock's ticking. Stafford dumps it off in the flat. And a good tackle. Theo Riddick was trying to get to the outside, but he was chased down by the Vikings' Anthony Barr. There is a flag on the field, though.
Little swing screen right there.
The penalty marker down in the secondary.
Pass interference, offense, number 85. Penalties decline. Result of the play, 3rd down.
Ebron blocking before the ball was thrown. In essence, that's a pick. That's illegal.
Correction, 4th down. And please reset the game clock to 2:42, please. 2:42.
Sheriff
on the game
Floyd
clock.
hurt on the play, Brendan. Number 73.
Just an inadvertent leg whip right there, right into his knee. Floyd gets up, he's running off the field. That's always good to see.
Always a good sign. Second-year man out of Florida. .242 on the clock. Vikings would love to tie this up and go into the locker room with some momentum.
Vikings have had a ton of opportunities, but they've been pinned so deep in their own territory, losing the field position battle this entire game.
Sam Martin to punt. Martin's had some good punts here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Will it hit the end zone? Yes. So the Vikings will start at their own 20 with 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the first half. Let's check in with Joel Klatt in L.A.
All right, Mike, we take you out to Buffalo. Kyle Orton's going to find USC's Robert Woods. 7-7 game in Buffalo. There's no report yet if Jim Schwartz is on anybody's shoulders. So everybody in Detroit, don't worry about that. Mike, Brendan, Peter, back to you.
Thank you very much, Joel. There was a lot of talk about that exit from the stadium. Mostly, the Lions didn't want to talk about it. 1st and 10 from the 20. Vikings have 2 timeouts. And nothing there. Jerick McKinnon with the carry. The 2-minute warning is upon us as the Vikings here at home trail to the Lions 7-0.
2-minute warning.
Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. 2nd and 7 from their own 23-yard line. The rookie Teddy Bridgewater. Three defensive linemen set up against the Vikings offense. Bridgewater able to complete the pass, and a good move by Jarrett McKinnon. Great yards after catch for the rookie.
McKinnon always dangerous. Teddy relying on his check down, something he had talked about last night in the production meeting. He was going to be looking when guys were not open. He'd be going to his check down, something he learned in college at Louisville and he's comfortable doing.
Well, Mike Zimmer said about his young quarterback that he is very cerebral. Got a great work ethic, extremely humble. They moved up 8 spots in the draft to get him. Ziggy Ansah out, George Johnson in for the Lions. Bridgewater down the middle, incomplete. The intended receiver was Charles Johnson.
Didn't really see anything open on the field right there, Goldie, but Bridgewater definitely wanted to get his feet set. He couldn't, therefore it's an inaccurate pass. Just a tad bit of pressure in that pocket, collapsing late in the down.
Brings us to 2nd and 10. 1:47 remaining here in the first half. Bridgewater looking, checking off. And it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. Chase Ford, the tight end.
Ford's a guy that was showing up all day in practice. Second-year man, just couldn't hold on right there, but they're expecting some big things out of him.
Nice job defensively by Rasheem Mathis. Ziggy Ansah is back in. 3rd and 10 for Bridgewater and the Vikings. 4 wideouts. Bridgewater under pressure, and he is sacked again. And it's the man we just talked about, Ziggy Ansah, who came into the game. -5.
The pocket just completely collapsed right there. No one was open. Ford under pressure.
I'm at Detroit for teams first. Please reset the game clock to 1:36.
Detroit takes a timeout.
Please, on the game clock. Thank you. Thank you.
Ansah came on the delay. Looked like it was initially a 3-man rush, and Ansah just came in late.
So no timeout, although the official said the Lions did. Police will check. Well, they made the announcement, but here's the kick. Sam Martin. Fair catch by Jeremy Ross. Hey, let's check in with Kurt Menefee. He'll tell us what's coming up on the Visa Halftime Show.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we've got all your early highlights, including Peyton Manning off to a slow start for the Broncos against the Jets, and Joe Flacco off to a crazy hot start in Tampa Bay. It all comes your way as we get started when we come back with the Visa Halftime.
The penalty to Josh Bynes as we make our way to break. Now return with 1:29. So on the scoreboard, they're showing the Lions with 2 timeouts. We'll keep an eye on that, partner. They've got a long way to go. 1st and 10 on their own 23-yard line.
No-go, no-go!
Stafford, and he has to throw it away. He's already been sacked 4 times. Last week, he was sacked a career-high 6 times, and the week before 4. So this line not protecting Stafford the way they want to. The great pressure by Gerald Hodges.
see the quick pressure up the middle. Raiola normally calling out the blocks and picking up those schemes right there. They just didn't call the right scheme. They let him go through, and Stafford has to get rid of that ball quickly. They're trying to manufacture some quick offense in this last minute 30 of the half.
We were talking to Matthew Stafford about that. Sacks can be deceiving if the quarterback stays in the pocket and tries to make something happen. That one tipped and almost intercepted. Gerald Hodges.
Hodges showing up again. Stafford clearly didn't see him underneath. In the coverage, is trying to get it over the linebacker in between the DB. Hodges almost gets the pick on the previous play. Hodges on the pressure. He had his best week of practice this week, Mike Zimmer said, and it's showing up on film right now.
3rd and 10. Ball on the 23. Vikings would love to get it back. Put it in the end zone before the end of this half. Stafford looking deep. Almost brought in by Corey Fuller, but there was good coverage by Josh Robinson.
George Edwards, defensive coordinator, and Mike Zimmer not scared to dial up the pressure. You see the linebackers up there, leaving the cornerback on an island. He's got to get the ball out there quickly. It's not open. And you're giving back the ball relatively quickly back to Minnesota.
Yep.
See if they can sneak some points on the board. Norv Turner's probably elated, gets another shot.
The punt by Sam Martin. Marcus Sherrills again back deep to receive at the 18-yard line. There's a flag on the field. Sherrills and another flag. There are multiple flags on the field as the ball was out.
I'd be surprised if the Lions didn't have this ball.
They're saying they do. Tahir Whitehead says, we have the football.
Let's go! Let's go!
Mike Zimmer talked about eliminating the negative plays. Potentially right here, this play could send them down 14 or 10 points. Prater's pretty much in position to kick a field goal right here.
Prater has the NFL record with a 64-yard field goal. Let's take a look at this fumble again, Brendan.
Poor ball security. He's holding that ball like
There's
it's a...
3 fouls on the play with the change of possession. At the end of this play, by rule, will offset all 3 penalties. Illegal block in the back on the return team. Number 47, holding on the return team. Number 27, an illegal use of hands, kicking team. Number 49, with the change of possession, by rule, will offset re-kick 4th down.
Wow.
After all of that, we get to do it again, and the Vikings are relieved, to say the least. They were all over him.
Anytime you grab a guy's jersey, you see him spin, that's easy pickings for the ref. They're going to throw a flag.
So Sherrills is set up at the 22-yard line. 1 minute 5 seconds remains here in our first half. It has been a defensive battle, Brendan, to say the least.
Prither's got to be relieved that they got that fumble back and have another opportunity.
Absolutely. Waving it off, fair catch, and it's out of bounds. 47-yard punt for Sam Martin. 2 timeouts and 58 seconds here in the half for the Vikings to go to work.
See what Norv has in store. You got a minute to manufacture something. If you don't pick up a big play off the jump here, then you're probably just going to burn out the clock.
Norv Turner, Jim Caldwell said quite clearly, I am very fortunate to have a veteran like Norv Turner on my staff. Asiata in a tailback. Vikings starting from the 30-yard line. Pressure again. Bridgewater into the flat, 30-yard line. And pushed out of bounds. Matt Asiata, the gain of 18.
Ahead of Bowen, safety, the last line of defense right there. Great play by Norv. Lions show pressure. Dial up the pressure. The screen play, anytime guys are coming up the field, the quarterback's taking a lot of sacks, a good way to alleviate that pressure, a quick screen plays. Norv dialed it in. And they're in play now.
They got a lot of time with the 2 timeouts.
Sneak some points up on the board for the Vikings.
Last touchdown pass for the offense came in week 2. Oh, tipped and intercepted. Intercepted by Tahir Whitehead. Second interception of the afternoon for Teddy Bridgewater.
And that one's not on Teddy at all.
Absolutely.
Teddy goes to the check down, something he's been going to all day, and deflects the ball right to the Tahir Whitehead right there. Asiata, normally a sure-handed guy, had a fumble last week, which is not characteristic of him. Comes back and bats the ball to a Lion defender for the interception.
Lions with 2 timeouts, 45 seconds at their own 49. Lions defense with 2 interceptions today. Stafford, complete, and near a first down. Eric Ebron, the youngster, the tight end. Gain of 11.
In the hurry up off, called a timeout.
So that will be the second timeout for the Lions.
Ebron's a guy they got a lot of faith in. They think he can take the top off of a defense. He's a willing blocker. He's also a good receiver. They think he's got a high ceiling. They're excited about his future.
All right, now they're saying that they didn't take the timeout earlier. And now they're saying they did. So 1 timeout for the Lions. Man, Teddy Bridgewater, not the first half he wanted. Not like the first half where he was dominant against the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, he's been sacked 4 times already on the day. He's made 1 critical mistake, but he's holding his composure, going against the #1 defense in the league. He's doing okay, just needs to settle in a little bit.
Clock at 39 seconds. Here's Bell. And he's dragged down at about the 33. Gain of 6 on the carry.
Got to hurry up and snap this.
25 seconds. Stafford goes wide. Incomplete. Intended for Jeremy Ross. Coverage by Josh Robinson.
They can still attack the middle of the field. They don't need to get the ball out of bounds right here. They can call a timeout.
Matt Prater 0 for 1 as a Detroit Lion, at least this time. Right now it would be about a 51-yard field goal. A chip shot for a man who made it from 64. Stafford down the middle, in and out of the hands of Drake Bell.
Bell should have had this with the check down. Wanted to pick up a few extra yards to make the field goal that much easier for Prater, and he just doesn't pull it in. Stafford's definitely not happy right now with that performance by Bell.
Alex Henry's 0 for 3 last week against Buffalo, cost the Lions a win. 52-yard field goal attempt. Lions kickers this year, 1 of 10 from outside 40. Prater missed earlier. The kick is up. And it is good. The Lions on the field goal by Matt Prater now lead 10-0. And Calvin Johnson loves it because he hasn't seeded enough here early in the season.
Yeah, that's something they've been lacking, stability in the kicking game, particularly in field goals. Prater definitely adds value. He's batting .500 right now. That works in baseball.
5 plays, 17 yards, 38 seconds leads to the field goal. Prater, as I mentioned, was 25 of 26 last year with the Broncos. You think they like having Matt Prater? Let's see the reaction. It looks like we're about to go home and it's a game winner.
A couple I love you mans.
Absolutely. I'm glad you're here. I can buy you dinner, whatever you want. He's a veteran. He's been here a long time. And a big field goal here late in the first half. Prater over 81% on his kicks in the last 7 years. Cordero Patterson waiting patiently. Sam Martin to kick it off. Patterson at the 4-yard line, looking for space, and he's taken down at the 20. Special teams tackle by Josh Bynes.
Former Baltimore Raven, won a championship with myself. Bynes showing up on special teams. They alluded to also seeing him a little bit on goal line in short yardage situations.
You know a little bit about special teams. 3-time Pro Bowler.
Most likely right here, just nail it down, and
yeah,
it's not worth taking a chance of a negative play.
Could have been very different though, due to the interception. Vikings would have hoped it would be a 7-7 game. And that's the end of the first half. The Lions' #1 defense has forced 2 turnovers already. Does Teddy Bridgewater have the self-confidence to come back and have a big second half, Brendan?
Yeah, I think you're going to have to look at Norv Turner for this one to get him rocking and rolling. Go with the checkdowns, get Asiata and McKinnon back in the ball game, and do exactly what the game plan was. Attack the outside, attack the inside, get Teddy going, but it's going to have to start with the play calling and up front with the offensive line.
Just 78 total yards for Minnesota in the first half of play. They were also not very polished on the offensive line. 4 sacks against Teddy Bridgewater. So I think everybody understands they got to be better to win here at home.
Yeah, and there's been some negative plays, but it's always hard when you have the ball deep inside your own territory. Right. If you're already back inside your 20 and you don't get a first down, then it's really hard to flip the field. So it's been tough sledding so far for Minnesota, but they're going to have to do something different.
Now let's go to Kurt Menefee and the Visa Halftime Show. A picture-perfect afternoon here in Minneapolis. Lions lead as we get set for the third quarter, 10-0. Hey, let's check out today's excitement, and it's brought to you by Nissan. Lions defense, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. That said, Brendan, they are #1 ranked.
Yeah, they're dialing in. They got Teddy Bridgewater rattled, so they just got to keep doing what they're doing. But Minnesota really needs to make the adjustments to come out and play a better half of football.
Cordero Patterson back to receive the kick of Sam Martin. The big question will be, how will Teddy Bridgewater recover from a very difficult first half? And the second half is underway. Long booming kick. And the Vikings will start at their own 20. Let's check out Peter Schrager. He's down on the field. Peter?
Yeah, Mike, you know, without Adrian Peterson, Calvin Johnson, Reggie Bush, no one expected offensive fireworks. But that first half, both teams struggled on offense. I asked Mike Zimmer about it. He said, stupid penalties. Jim Caldwell, a little softer with it, said too many 1st and 20s. Zimmer said for Teddy Bridgewater to get going, he needs to speed up the offense. You'd think slow down? He said speed up, get him in a rhythm, let's go. But both coaches very disappointed with all the penalties.
Great stuff, Peter. Thank you very much. Let's see if Bridgewater can go 0 to 60 and score some points. Jarrett McKinnon very busy in the backfield in the first half. They started their 20. Under pressure. And the completion to Chase Ford, the big tight end out of Miami. Gain of 7.
I like what Norv is doing, going to the easy completion, setting up his quarterback for 2nd and short.
The big stat, 2 turnovers by the Vikings. Neither team lit it up offensively.
See if Norv wants to stretch the field here or just get the first down.
The opening drive for Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings was impressive until the interception, so they're trying to put one together again. Moving ahead almost to the 35-yard line is McKinnon. And stopped on the play by Tahir Whitehead. Gain of 6. A first down for the Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater. They moved up in the draft to get him. He was outstanding at Louisville. The handoff. And again, he just a couple. Teddy Bridgewater, in his senior year, completed over 70% of his passes. Everything we hear, and we've talked to a lot of guys, Brendan, is that this kid can be the real deal.
Yeah, you see they're speeding up the offense right here. They don't want to give the Lions a chance to substitute.
Norv Turner loves it. To the flat. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Jarius Wright.
Teddy's doing a lot of good things. His teammates need to help him out right here. The last interception, Asiata backs the ball up. Right here, you see a drop pass.
Like Zimmer said, when he looks and talks to Teddy Bridgewater, he just smiles. He just loves the kid so much. He smiles every time he's around him. He's got the confidence of his coaches and his teammates. 3rd and 7 from the 37. Bridgewater. Over the middle, complete again to Chase Ford. The big tight end with back-to-back receptions. Good for 9. The stop by DeAndre Levy.
They needed that first down. Huge for his confidence. You see Ford just outrunning Levy to the flat on the cross route. They needed that. He's building up confidence. Norv is dialing in.
Opening drive of the second half. Dumped off into the flat to Jarius Wright. And he makes it to about the midfield line.
Another quick hit, a short completion. Norv is building up Teddy's confidence. He's building it up, getting McKinnon back on track. It's a balanced offense, going short, quick hitting routes. I like what Norv is doing. This is their best drive since the first quarter.
2nd and 6 from midfield. McKinnon, the single back. Bridgewater, pressure again. He gets it away, and it's complete. What a play by Chase Ford and Rhett Ellison.
The Lions dialed up the pressure. They're at Teddy's feet. Ellison running the underneath, the drag route. Bridgewater throws it up there nice and easy, makes the completion. Now you got 3rd and short.
So a couple, as I mentioned, of Ford, now Ellison, the 3rd-year man out of USC. 3rd and 2. Bridgewater. And the pass deflected, wasn't intercepted. Tahir Whitehead. Let's see if he has it. Yep.
Pass is intercepted on the play.
Another tip pass, another mistake by the Vikings offense. That's something Zimmer talked about that they had to eliminate in order to win this football game today.
So the second time they were moving the chains is the second time they get intercepted. Tahir Whitehead with the great play. We return to Minneapolis. After this is the NFL on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get the right TV. By Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. And by the Dodge Challenger. Born Dodge.
Mike Goldberg, Brendan Einbedejo. Lions start near midfield after the interception by Whitehead. Joyke Bell with about a 6 or 7 yard gain. The stop by Captain Munnerlich.
Bell, a guy that usually runs downhill, realizes there's no edge on the defense. He keeps cutting out, stretching it out. Instead of hitting it down the middle, he hits it towards the outside, picks up a nice gain.
They're going to make it a gain of 11 and a first down. That last drive, 8 plays, was the Vikings' longest drive of the day. Unfortunately, it results in another interception. Stafford with the handoff. Running downfield is Joyke Bell again. Gain of 7 on the carry.
Bell just bouncing off tacklers.
And no Reggie Bush today, ankle injury.
Makes one cut, makes the first guy miss. Breaks a tackle, takes 4 Vikings to get him down. Bell running the ball hard today.
2nd and 3 from the Vikings' 34-yard line. Jeremy Ross goes in motion. Stafford looking over the middle, complete at the 29-yard line to Corey Fuller.
Fuller, not a big receiver, but just basketballed him right there and able to get him between himself and the defender to screen him off and get the completion for the first down.
Second catch on the afternoon for Fuller. Out of Virginia Tech. I formation with Joyke Bell. 1st and 10 from the 29. The handoff and a great run by Bell all the way to the 15-yard line. Robert Blanton finally made the stop. 13-yard gain.
Lombardi keeps dialing in on these downhill running plays for Bell. Bell just exploiting the middle of the defense. Mike Zimmer can't be happy.
Number 75.
You have to protect the middle of your defense first. If there's nothing there in the middle, teams are going to take advantage of that going back to the well.
Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Larry Warford is an eligible receiver on this play. Stafford. And he trips down at about the 18-yard line. Good pressure from Everson Griffin. And a loss of 4.
Lombardi goes to the spread offense right here. There's no running back in the backfield. Everybody's spread. The defense puts the pressure on. Stafford is stacked. But why not just keep running the ball right here? You're doing something good. You're moving the ball down the field, and then you try to get cute. You spread it out. Negative play.
Negative play indeed. Theo Riddick and Joyke Bell. Different kind of runners, both effective today. Stafford. The quick hit. And it'll get about 2 or 3 yards. Golden Tate with the reception. He's been somewhat quiet. Gerald Hodges with the tackle.
Quick screen to Golden Tate. Since he's dropped that ball in the second quarter, we haven't seen him show up, but a little reception right there. It wasn't much, but it's going to keep that defense guessing. It's a chess game. Lombardi's thinking that Zimmer's probably sending a blitz right there. They throw the screen, and they have it covered.
3rd and 12 from the Vikings' 18-yard line. Big play here for the Lions. They lead 10-0. Matthew Stafford. He's sacked. Great defensive play by Tom Johnson.
Johnson just playing big right there. Big time situation. Johnson right there at the middle of your screen runs through Dominic Raiola and gets the sack. Raiola, the 14-year man's been on this team forever. And that starts happening when you start playing against younger physical players.
Lions 0 for 8 on 3rd down. Brings up a 44-yard field goal attempt for Matt Prater. He's missed one, he's made one. Prater. Oh, he hits the upright. Matt Prater misses for the second time today. The kicking woes continue to be a demon for the Lions. Signed this week, Matt Prater. He's missed from 50. He made a 52-yarder. He just missed from 44. Last year, he was 14 of 15 from 40-plus yards. So the score remains Detroit 10, Minnesota nothing. Bodies all over, yeah.
James Ahedebo just coming like a man from the secondary, put the pressure on Bridgewater. Let's take a look at it. Ahedebo at the top of your screen beats McKinnon and gets the sack. The ball comes out. This game could easily right now be 16-0, Goldie. And it's a 10-0 ball game right now.
No question about it. C.J. Mosley, the 10-year veteran, in on that play as well. Loss of 7. Second down. McKinnon gaining just a couple of yards.
That's NFL standard. After you have a negative play, get back on track, you're going to hand the ball off on second down, especially after a sack or an incomplete pass.
But it brings up a 3rd and 13.
We talked about Norvin dialing in for Teddy Bridgewater. You just have to question after the turnover, starting first down with a pass play.
McKinnon, the rookie out of Georgia Southern, as we mentioned earlier. Bridgewater looking and complete. The completion to Jarius Wright, but short of the first down. Darius Slay on the coverage.
That route should have been ran at the sticks.
Yep.
You needed to pick up 14 yards. You pick up 5. Punt team onto the field.
Jeremy Ross back to receive the Jeff Locke punt. Flags on the play.
False start.
How does Teddy Bridgewater stay confident?
Offense, number 57, 5-yard penalty.
Once again, it goes with the play calling. You know, North Turner's been around great quarterbacks his whole career. He sees that Bridgewater has that potential, but you have to give it to him in baby steps. You got to allow the offensive line to McKinnon, Asiata, that 1-2 punch to run the ball, and don't put them in precarious situations like they just did.
The punt by Locke out of UCLA. Picked up by Jeremy Ross just about at the 30-yard line. He'll make his way to the 39, stopped by Adam Thielen. 40-yard kick, 9-yard return.
This game is sponsored by Visa Checkout, the easier way to pay online.
Welcome back to Minneapolis. 4:38 remaining in the third quarter. Lions lead 10-0.
Number 20! Number 20! Time 55! Hey! Waiting!
They start at their own 40. Joyke Bell cuts in, gains about 5 yards, and is stopped by Everson Griffin.
Bell picking up where he left off on the last drive. Want to just talk about Tahir Whitehead. Had 2 picks off 2 deflected Teddy Bridgewater passes. He's stepping up big today for that Lions defense.
Stafford, the leader on this Lions offense. Of course, Calvin Johnson out of the lineup. And he was very limited the last couple of weeks as well. The ankle injury. Reggie Bush out of the lineup. Stafford with a flat to Bell, and he's forced out of bounds by Jasper Brinkley. So if you're Matt Stafford, you realize as we watch the play, and you realize that you might just have to carry this offense on your shoulders.
Yeah, and you see he's doing it right there. Come out and spread this Vikings defense out, a little rub route. Bell's open in the flat. Stafford's finding his stride, but they're definitely leaving points on the board. Could expect to see them going for the end zone, try to get 7 since the kicking game is unreliable today.
Well, they only had 1 offensive touchdown last week at home against the Bills. Lost 17-14. Stafford, incomplete. intended receiver was Golden Tate. Coverage by Josh Robinson.
And we keep seeing the short routes. We keep seeing the short routes right here. Golden Tate just running a slant right here. Quick slant. He should have caught that. He's got a couple drops on the day today. But Joe Lombardi specifically talked about how Stafford, he feels like he's not letting loose. He's playing a little bit more conservative, but the routes are also conservative. I want to see some routes down the field. Let Stafford let that gun go.
2nd and 10 from the Vikings 48-yard line. Stafford behind center. Joyce Bell gets the handoff and takes it to about the 45. Brian Robeson with the tackle, the 8-year veteran from Texas.
NFL North, the old black and blue division. See Bell just running with the head of steam. Set up 3rd and long.
3rd and 8 for Detroit.
We haven't seen a lot of Eric Ebron today. On 3rd down, Golden Tate has been the man. Let's see if he shows up.
Ebron, the young tight end. Stafford working the throw, complete. But it looks like it'll be short of the 1st down. There's a flag on the play. Captain Motherland with the coverage of Golden Tate. Oh, we got the flag.
Holding prior to the pass, defense number 22. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
The safety, Harrison Smith, out of Notre Dame.
Take a look at Harrison Smith, gets the grab right there on Corey Fuller. Once again, I alluded to it twice before. You spin a guy around, it makes it easy for the ref to throw the flag. Harrison Smith, a guy that missed all of last year due to a foot injury, but the Vikings have a lot of faith in this guy and believe that he is their safety of the future back there.
1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. 2 minutes, 42 seconds on the clock here in the 3rd. Golden Tate. And he's tackled on the play by Xavier Rhodes. Gain of about 5.
Quick hit. You keep seeing these quick hits. I'm waiting for the pump and go. It's just a bare pass, just a quick pass, get it out there. See if Golden Tate can make a move and potentially bust one, but that's setting up plays for later where Stafford's going to pump it and the receiver's going to go, possibly set up a touchdown.
Joyce Bell in the backfield again. 2nd and 5. Stafford over the middle. There's a flag on the play. Intended receiver was Golden Tate.
Golden Tate taking advantage of Rose. Does the slant, then pops out. Rose has no defense other than holding once again. Easy flag.
Defense number 29, 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So the penalty on Xavier Rhodes. We've seen a lot of Joyce Bell on this drive. That's because Theo Riddick is doubtful with a hamstring. He may be done for the afternoon.
A lot of Bell and Tate right there, but Tate's coming off the field, so they're going to have to go to someone else. Let's see who's going to step up. Maybe Hill.
There's always George Wynn as well, the Michigan native. He was the featured back last week, and he pulls his way ahead. You want to talk about a journey. This man was on almost every practice squad in the NFL. Stayed positive, got to touch the ball live last week, and he's from Southfield, Michigan, so he did it at home. Great, great, great story.
Yeah, Caldwell said everyone was so excited when Wynn got in the game last week, a guy that played special teams, but to see him get his first carry and play the way he did, everyone was happy for the guy. He's a hard worker. He deserved it for sure.
Clock is running. They give to Bell, up the middle, he finds a hole, and he's near another 1st down.
He just put his head down and gave the business to Gerald Hodges. Low man always wins. See, Bell gets underneath Hodges right there, puts him on his back. Hodges makes the tackle, a good sign of a good running back. He always finishes forward with his legs driving towards his goal line.
Bell and Wynn known as power running backs. Riddick more like a Reggie Bush in his attack. 3rd and 1. Jed Collins, the fullback, gets it. And they get the first down.
These compact offenses, you don't see them too much anymore with teams spreading. But anytime it's a short yardage situation, you're going to see them pack the paint and play some power football, something this division had been known for in the past, which gave it the name of the black and blue division. But with the quarterbacks we have in this division now, Goldie, you don't see that as much anymore.
We are approaching the end of quarter number 3. The Lions scored on their opening drive, have added a field goal, and they still lead 10-0. This is the NFL on Fox. Start of the 4th quarter, and the Detroit Lions lead the Minnesota Vikings 10-0. Teddy Bridgewater has struggled a bit. 3 interceptions. The first was on the opening drive where it looked like Bridgewater was going to march right into the end zone.
Yeah, he just got a little bit overzealous. Stared down Cordarrelle Patterson the whole time. That was the easy interception. The other 2 weren't Bridgewater's fault. But the game is still within reach. 15 minutes left in the 4th quarter. They're down 10-0, but the game is still within reach. Let's see what the Lions do right here.
Teddy Bridgewater wants another turn. First interceptions of his career. He missed the Green Bay game with a sprained ankle. 1st and 10 from the 19 for Detroit. Detroit Bell again, and he'll gain 3 or 4. Linville Joseph with the tackle.
Lombardi just wants to keep getting positive plays here. They don't convert on right here on the 2nd down, on 3rd down. I definitely see him going for the end zone or the sticks.
Well, you said earlier, partner, they're giving away points. They're leaving them on the table. Let's see what they do here. Bell again out of Wayne State. Stafford. Time, looks, checks off, and now the pressure gets him. Another sack against Matthew Stafford. This time it's Linville Joseph.
Joseph just beating the offensive tackle right there. More than anything, that was a coverage sack. Nobody was open. Stafford had nowhere to go, had nothing to do but tuck the ball, and Joseph gets the sack.
You see Matt Prater warming up on the sideline. He is 1 for 3 today. Stafford, the top overall pick in the 2009 draft, checks off. That's Troy Bell, powering ahead for a first down.
He's close, he might have it.
He did exactly what you said earlier. Use the strength and power to just bull his way down. Going to give him a gain of 15. And it might be a 4th and 1.
Looks like they're going for it, Cody. Quick screen play. Rowland leading the way. 2 offensive linemen. Bell just powers down and sets up that 4th and 1.
The field goal kicker story might be a determining factor for Stafford and the Lions going right now. Big George Wynn in the backfield with Troy Bell. And there's Wynn. And he gets the first down and more. Harrison Smith with the stop.
That's a big conversion right there. Good downhill running, power football, black and blue division football, NFC North. Picks up the first down. You put 7 up here, this just might be a ball game.
Absolutely. 13th play of this drive. The give to Bell. almost to the end zone. They'll spot it at about the 1-yard line. Anthony Barr with the tackle.
Offensive line playing good power football. Stafford goes in the hurry up.
Second and goal. Touchdown! Up and over the top, Joyce Bell. And the Lions have scored again.
Great play calling by Lombardi right there. Runs, passes, screens. In this situation, just caught Minnesota not ready. Guys are shuffling around. They're not in their stances. They're not ready to go. And Bell goes over the top for 6.
14-yard drive, 60 yards, or 14 play, pardon me, 60 yards, 7 minutes and 54 seconds. And Bell, who's coming back from that concussion, ultra impressive for Detroit. Prater for the kick after. Lions lead 17-0. Look at Joyce get up. That's what I call elevation. How good is that?
His Game on Fox is sponsored by Microsoft Surface, the official tablet of the NFL. By Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. And by Burger King. For a limited time, get 10 chicken nuggets for just $1.49.
New Lions offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi, who worked with the 8-time Pro Bowler Drew Brees down in New Orleans. Now he's got Matthew Stafford, 2-time Pro Bowler, and as you mentioned, that was the most impressive drive of this football game.
Yeah, now the onus is on Minnesota to bounce back. Let's see if special teams coordinator Mike Prefer, who mentioned they might be coming up with some nice plays on special teams, and get Cordarrelle Patterson rolling right here.
Patterson way deep in the end zone. And once again, the Vikings will start on the 20-yard line. Man, they need some offense. Teddy Bridgewater, do you have it in you? We'll find out. Joyce Bell sure does. Time will soon become an enemy for the Minnesota Vikings. They trail 17-0 here in the fourth quarter. From the shotgun. Down the middle, and that pass was tipped.
Big hit off the edge.
Man, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about bringing the pressure? The Lions have done it all day.
Right there was Josh Bynes on these last couple plays. You're seeing the defensive line has dialed it up. Anza, Hedebo, Levy, all bringing the pressure play after play. Josh Bynes coming off the edge.
Matt Asiata with the carry. DeAndre Levy with the stop. Loss of 2 brings up a 3rd and 12. Lions came in with the top-ranked defense in the National Football League.
And they absolutely look like it, partner. Sacked 5 times, hit 9 times, 12 hurries, and 7 knockdowns on the day. The Vikings haven't had the ball for more than 3 minutes and 30 seconds on any drive today.
Sometimes the numbers are deceiving. Those numbers tell the story. 3rd and 12 from the 18-yard line. Bridgewater connects. Craig Jennings. And he's pushed out of bounds shy of the marker by Rasheem Mathis, the 12-year veteran.
The Vikings talked about next man up. We haven't seen much of Jennings today. Right there, catches the underneath route, just short of the first down marker. His first catch of the day, his 2nd target. Someone's gonna have to step up on this offense by the Vikings if we're gonna see any production, any chance of getting back in this game.
Here's the kick. Jeremy Ross is back at the 30. Ross trying to find an opening. Still on his feet and tackled at the 35-yard line. Michael Mata with the special teams play.
Today's game is sponsored by the new Samsung Galaxy S5. The next big thing is here.
Earlier, Rose Murphy, the mother of Vikings quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, was honored. She is a breast cancer survivor, and of course we all want to do anything we can do to help the fight that so many women have. Rose Murphy, absolutely inspirational early.
We're going to attack 54. Ready?
10-14 remains in the game. First and 10 from the 35, Troy Bell. And he'll gain about 3.
Late in the ball game, Joe Lombardi's going to keep that clock moving, keep the power of football going, try to take off as many minutes as he can off this clock and just wear down the Minnesota defense.
Well, they have run the ball very well. Didn't start early, running it effectively, but man, they put together a good rushing day in the last few. And it's by committee, George Wynn in the backfield. The fake, Stafford, downfield, incomplete. Intended for Eric Ebron. So Mike Zimmer talked to us. He tried to be upbeat. We brought up the Packers, which nobody wanted to talk about, of course. He said, we're moving ahead. That 42-10 loss is beyond us, but he's got to be frustrated with this effort today.
Yeah, Zimmer alluded to having less talent on other teams and the teams actually being better or playing at a higher level than this team is playing right now. So he sees the light at the end of the tunnel, but they're just not dialed in yet, playing as a cohesive unit on offense or defense.
3rd and 8 for the Lions from the 37. They got to hurry. Got it off. Stafford throws wide and incomplete. Golden Tate, the intended receiver. Captain Munnerlyn with the great coverage there. So Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings will get it back.
Munnerlyn on Tate, jams him at the line of scrimmage, able to break it up. Good, tight defense, playing from the inside out. George Edwards, defensive coordinator, is definitely happy with that effort. 3 and out by the Vikings.
Detroit just 1 of 11 on 3rd down today. They were 1 of 11 last week against Buffalo, the 17-14 loss. Marcus Sherrills to receive. And here we go. Trying to dance around. He's hit hard at the 38-yard line by Tahir Whitehead. Vikings looking for a comeback. It's going to come from that man if he can do it. They're battling in the NFC North. Theo Riddick injured in this game. He missed last game with the hamstring, but Troy Bell, George Wynn, and Riddick early have done a nice job on the ground for the Lions. Now it's all about Teddy Bridgewater. Can the Vikings put some points on the board? They're on their 33-yard line. Dumped off and incomplete. Intended for Patterson, and good coverage on the play.
Levy absolutely ran over McKinnon. But here on the coverage underneath, there's nowhere to go.
Darius Slay was all over him, wasn't he? Patterson should be the best receiving threat, but he hasn't done much today. He hasn't had the chance. Bridgewater trying to change that. Dumps it off in and out of the hands of Jerick McKinnon. So 3rd down coming up here, but let's check in with Kurt Menefee for a game update.
All right, the other team from the NFC North playing right now, Green Bay down to Miami, and they're all even against the Dolphins. Lamar Miller ties it up for Miami with a 5-yard score, 17 all. Mike, Brendan, and Peter.
Thank you very much, Kurt. 9 minutes, 5 seconds remain here. There's a penalty, and they cleaned it up. Now we're set to go. 1st and 10 from the 38. The 1st down coming on the penalty against the Lions. Bridgewater steps up. Good passes, little shuttle pass up ahead. And the Vikings trying to make things happen with Jerick McKinnon. Good improv there by Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, a little Brett Favre-esque right there. Uses his feet, gives the little shovel to McKinnon. McKinnon picks up the 1st down. This is the best position a defense can be in. When you're up 17-0, you know a team has to pass. You can dial anything up, and Terrell Austin sure is doing that.
Jason Jones had the pressure on Bridgewater. Bridgewater again to a wide open receiver, Charles Johnson. They need to put some points on the board right here, partner.
Lions just playing cautious, letting them catch the ball underneath, keeping them in bounds. They're not giving them anything over the top. Let's see if they try to stretch the field.
2nd and 3. McKinnon on the carry, and he gets the first down. Gain of 5 and a first down for the rookie, Jared McKinnon.
Late in the ballgame, we're seeing the balance that we expected to see earlier. They were showing the hurry up in practice. Now you see it. Bridgewater's doing a good job. They're putting together one of their best drives of the ballgame.
Opening drive looked great until the interception. Another big drive. Turned over again. Big battle for the ball. And huge hits at Jarius Wright. Wow. That was outstanding.
Quick slant play. Shamar Steppen put his shoulder into Jarius Wright. He's going to feel that tomorrow.
Mathis as well. But a good gain, 2nd and 4. To the flat, complete. To Patterson, there is a flag on the field. Darius Slay on the coverage of Cordero. As Peter Schrager said after the halftime, Mike Zimmer really said too many dumb penalties. So I'm sure he's disappointed right here again. So now it's 2nd and 14 from the Lions 41. Lions are 3-2 on the year. Vikings are 2-3. Kurt gave us the update on the Green Bay Packers. Bridgewater quickly to the flat for McKinnon. He makes a move, and another. And he's hit at the 31-yard line.
McKinnon is so shifty.
Jones. Oh, yeah, and that's what the coaches told us. McKinnon is like your Adrian Peterson type runner, where the other guys are all about power.
Yeah, Asiata's a downhill guy. McKinnon's a shifty guy. Setting up 3rd and short. See if they can get this donut off the screen.
Get the crowd back into it. Bridgewater. Over the middle, first down. Good play. Again, he goes to Chase Ford, the tight end. And a gain of 7.
Chase Ford, a guy that was showing up big in practice on Friday. Coaches and Teddy are waiting to see that translate today. On Sunday, you see him with a couple grabs, picks up the first down, hurry-up mode, back in effect.
Effective today indeed. Shotgun again. Bridgewater spins away. The ball is deflected. Nope, it's in his hand still. He had to throw it away. They were up ready to beat him down one more time.
A wave of pressure
right?
by that Lions defense. You see it coming off the edge. Ezekiel Anza putting on the pressure.
Cassius Vaughn as well.
Anza's got a couple sacks on the day, a forced fumble on the day. Relentless pressure. You can't coach that type of effort.
2nd and 10 from the 23. 9th play of the drive. The longest today for the Vikings. Bridgewater to Cordero Patterson. He's still on his feet. And dragged down at the 18-yard line by DeAndre Levy. Gain of 5. The Lions player on the field will return after this. The Lions, number 32, James Ihedebo, is on the bench. He walked on his own accord, so he looks to be just fine. He has played in 4 straight AFC Championship games. Flag on the field.
Two penalties on this drive. Just a drive killer. Zimmer talking about making mistakes. They're busting across the board, different guys making mistakes, making it that much harder for Teddy in this offense to get on track.
Cordero Patterson. Vikings just 3 of 11 today on third down. They've converted one on this drive. Ball is at the 22-yard line. Bridgewater over the middle, incomplete. Greg Jennings, the intended receiver.
Haven't seen much of any of the Vikings receivers today. Not much offense at all. The story has really been about this defense. You see the pressure there by Anza. Sue getting his hand in there. It's been a tough day for Teddy Bridgewater in his second start of his career against the #1 defense in the NFL in the Vikings. Excuse me, in the Lions.
So they will attempt the 40-yard field goal. And the Vikings are on the board. 17-3 after the 44-yarder by Blair Walsh. Detroit 17, Minnesota 3. 11-play drive, covered 45 yards, 4 minutes, 21 seconds, and the 40-yard field goal. Now the Lions have their hands team here. They want to be ready for a potential onside kick. When you look at the clock, Brendan, at 4:53, probably have to look that way, right?
Yeah, they're not tipping their hand right now that they're going to onside it. They possibly could. I think they'll probably kick it off and try to get some stops on first and second down and then start using their timeouts around third down. We'll see what the strategy is right here that Mike Zimmer's going to employ.
He does kick it indeed. And through the end zone. Blair Walsh. Don't forget, tonight, it's Game 2 of the NLCS as the Giants attempt to take a 2-0 series lead, while the Cardinals look to even things up before hitting the road for Game 3. Coverage begins tonight after football, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Jake Peavy, Lance Lynn, your starters later on Fox Sports 1. So the Lions will start at their own 20. The handoff to Joyke Bell. And he's dragged down near the line of scrimmage. Gain of maybe 1 or 2 at best. Gerald Hodges in on the play.
Hodges blitzing all the way. Actually, excuse me, it wasn't. Stack linebacker. On the blitz from the backside was Harrison Smith. First-round draft pick 3 years ago. Notre Dame graduate.
Big George Wynn will set up in the backfield here. Matthew Stafford.
Hey, opposite!
Looking to lead his team to 4-2 on the season.
Hey, we're good! Reaver, 34! Ready! You're waiting! Listen!
The handoff to George Wynn, and he pulls his way ahead. Hit by Jasper Brinkley. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee. He has more on our America's Game of the Week. Kurt.
You said it, Goldie. America's Game of the Week. The Dallas Cowboys riding that 4-game win streak and tied for first in the NFC East. Visit Russell Wilson and the defending Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. It all comes up shortly after you guys are done there in Minnesota. Mike, Brendan, Peter.
Thank you, Kurt. Great day of football. Beautiful weather here. As the Lions looking for a rare victory here in Minneapolis. Of course, they're playing outside. To the flat. And Golden Tate met immediately by Josh Robinson.
The strategy right there by Lombardi. A quick completion. He came out in an empty set, got the quick completion, but he kept the clock going, forcing Minnesota to use one of their timeouts.
3:16 on the clock.
Timeout Minnesota, the team's first. Please reset the game clock. 3:19.
They trail by 2 touchdowns.
On the game clock, please. Thank you.
I mean, over the last few years, Brendan, it has been total domination for the Vikings at home against the Lions. The Lions have lost 15 of their last 16 games here.
And when I talked to Matt Stafford, he said he was not fazed by playing here at University of Minnesota, opposed to playing in the bubble where they had all those losses.
We were talking about that when we saw the stat. It's not the Metrodome, it's outside on a beautiful day. Fair catch. So Marcus Sherrills. See what they can do. See if the Vikings can go to work. Yeah, you've played in some of those domes, of course, the Vikings. That place was as intimidating as any in the league.
The noise level.
The horn.
The horn, the noise level, you have a top on it, the sound can't escape. You can't even hear yourself talking in that stadium. Definitely gives you a clear advantage on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And they just don't have that same type of esteem here in the stadium at the Golden Gophers home stadium.
Golden Gophers played yesterday. The first time all year, the only time actually, they'll have back-to-backs. Gophers and then Vikings games. Gophers with a nice win. Bridgewater steps up, looks to get to the sidelines, and he does. And Dominican Sue running him down, a gain of 8.
Sue chasing Bridgewater all the way down. The fans screaming as Sue is in hot pursuit from his defensive tackle position. And Sue gets to show off the wheels a little bit, but look at this little touch as he goes out of bounds. Is what the fans are all screaming about. They want the penalty.
Sue, one of the best in the league. Ziggy's had a big day too. Ziggy Ansah with a good day defensively against Teddy Bridgewater. 2nd and 2. Bridgewater looking. And he's going to be hauled down again. George Johnson with the sack. Loss of 7.
When you know a team is going to pass, you're going to call stunts in the inside. Guys are going to get after it. You see the twist right there. Johnson able to come after the pressure. Nowhere to go and gets the coverage sack.
Teddy Bridgewater sacked for the 6th time on that play. 3rd and 9 from the 49. Moving ahead up the middle. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Cordero Patterson, and James Ihedebo almost pulled it in.
Once again, the pressure on Bridgewater, the inside stunts. Bridgewater can't set his feet. He has to step up in the pocket, and there's an errant throw, and Ihedebo misses the interception to ice the game.
Vikings could never get it going offensively. And do keep in mind, it is the #1 defense in the league. The Detroit Lions have done a good job all season long. But here at home, trying to rebound from a disappointing game in Green Bay, you know they would like to have more. Bridgewater breaks a tackle. He's sacked for the 7th time. And it's Ziggy again, Ziggy Ansah with the sack.
George Johnson really set that up. He put the initial pressure on Bridgewater. Ansah gets the stat and he finishes it off. He's going to have to thank his teammate. You see him right there on the ET stunt. The end and the tackle switch assignments. Ziggy's the man today.
Absolutely. In the 2 victories for the Vikings, they scored 75 points, 34 and 41. In their losses, and this will be the 4th, they have only scored 26 points combined. That tells the story.
Opposite. Tag 54. Double trip. Ready. Hey, lady. Lays up.
Stafford in the offense. George Wynn now with the carry. Have been solid. They've changed things up in their attack from time to time, like you talked about, Brendan. Timeout on the field. 2nd timeout for the Vikings.
George Caldwell's elated that he brought Terrell Austin with him from Baltimore. He'd actually had a ton of experience with him earlier in his career. When he was a young coach, he coached against him, and he noticed something special about Terrell Austin. We talked about Penn State and him stealing him from Penn State and doing his Joe Pa impression.
Joe Pa was great. Joe Pa didn't want to let him go. Said, hey, he's just a graduate assistant.
And then Jim
Caldwell
Caldwell
said, he's my
goes-
graduate assistant.
Right. And then Jim Caldwell goes into the imitation of Joe Paul. That was hilarious. But he's coming up big today, calling a great defensive game for the Lions.
2:09 on the clock. Lions set to go to 4-2. Stafford. And it's Bell again. And take into account the field goal kicking a week ago against Buffalo, this really should even be a better team in the record books. Timeout.
This is the third
Final timeout for the
Minnesota.
Vikings.
30-second timeout.
It showed up today with the 2 missed field goals. This game could easily be 23-3.
Vikings could have, and maybe they think should have, been 5-1 leaving Minneapolis today.
Coach Caldwell, forever the optimist. He said teams grow when they go through adversity, whether it's a guy getting hurt or precarious situations, missing field goals. This team is built for the haul. They're just trying to hang on right now. He said really in November and December is really when the Lions want to hit their stride, but they're playing some good football today.
They would like that man back as soon as possible. Both Calvin Johnson and Reggie Bush out of the lineup. And the Lions are going to win here in Minneapolis. Outdoors, not indoors. 3rd and 5 from the 29-yard line of Minnesota. Little motion for Golden Tate. Stafford looked. Now he throws it up, and it's incomplete. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Stafford and the Lions up by 14. Welcome back to Minneapolis. 3rd and 17. 4th and 5, pardon me, with 1:57 on the clock. Look at these next 5 games. At Buffalo, we'll have that one, partner. Then Tampa Bay, Washington, and the bye week. And Mike Zimmer told us he's going to learn a lot about his team in the next few weeks.
Yeah, they're playing some good football teams, but they think they can win these games. 2-3 record, they'll be going to 2-4. They want to get back to 500 at least by that bye week and see if they can put some wins together and try to enjoy that bye week.
Lions is going to go for it. Bell in the backfield. The pitch. And he's forced out of bounds. Jasper Brinkley.
Held to the outside.
And the Vikings will get the ball back.
By Brinkley. Vikings take over on downs.
Bonus coverage is next. What a game. The Dolphins 24, the Packers 20. Obviously, the Lions and the Vikings are watching that game very closely. Not the ones playing, but the ones who want to know the result.
The Lions are in a nice position. They'll be sitting on top of the NFC North.
Yep.
In sole possession of first place with the big win today. Especially if the Vikings lose. I'm sorry, if the Green Bay Packers lose, that's a huge loss for them against the Miami Dolphins.
Teddy Bridgewater. Hauled down again. And Dominican Sue. And a loss of 2.
That's been the story of the day, partner.
Absolutely, yep.
Lions defensive line just eating out there. 8 sacks on the day. And they want to line up for some more.
2nd and 12, the clock is running. Vikings are out of timeouts. They go to Chase Ford, and he pulls his way up for a few extra yards. 13-yard gain by the tight end.
Ford showing a little bit of skills, a couple juke moves, breaks a tackle, jukes a couple linebackers.
Look at that. He is now the all-time leader with 30.5 career sacks. And Dominican Sue. Bridgewater looks upfield and complete. Greg Jennings with the reception.
Jennings' second catch of the day. Too little, too late. The story's been the Lions' defensive line. Sue, all-time defensive tackle sack leader.
Just past the numbers put up by Shawn Rogers during his days in Detroit. Sue, the second overall pick
Prior to
in
the foul.
2010.
Timeout.
Timeout on the field.
Team's first. 30-second timeout.
So the Lions stop the clock with 52 seconds remaining. So let's see what the Lions' journey has ahead for them. Home against New Orleans and against Atlanta. Then the bye week, and they don't travel until November 16th when they go to take on the Cardinals.
You think that's a huge game for Joe Lombardi?
In London is actually, the Atlanta game is in London.
Lombardi going back home, playing against the New Orleans Saints. That'll be a big game for him.
London is a home game, right?
Yeah.
For whoever flies there
7 hour
first.
flight.
Yeah, exactly. Bridgewater, up the middle, in and out of the hands of Greg Jennings.
Jennings heard footsteps. He saw big 94 tiptoeing at him. Ezekiel Anza dropping in coverage. Still got to pull that down. Jennings, the wily vet, saw a guy 100 pounds heavier than him beating down on him. Still got to catch it.
It's been that kind of day.
This is important time, though, for Bridgewater. Even though it's garbage time and there's nothing at stake, you want to build into next week, going into Buffalo with some completions.
A little simulation here, right? That's what he wants. 2nd and 10. Bridgewater steps up, flags on the field. Bridgewater down at the 34-yard line.
Legal use of hands to the face, number 75 offense, 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
Matt Khalil, 3rd-year man out of USC.
Right there, the bottom of your screen on Anza, you see the hand, the right hand on the face mask. Refs have been majoring, calling illegal hands to the face on both sides of the ball, along with holding after the 5-yard mark on defensive players. We've seen those penalties increase enormously this year.
So 2nd and 20 with 42 seconds remaining. Complete to Cordero Patterson. And he's brought down at the 43-yard line. Danny Gore with the tackle.
Norv Turner had been hoping that Patterson would have a big game today. McKinnon and Asiata as well. Teddy Bridgewater. But the Lions defense just smothering the Vikings all day.
Bridgewater out to the flat. Jennings, as the time is ticking down here on Minnesota. The Detroit Lions win for the 4th time this season. The final score, 17-3. It's a final here. Let's check back in with Kirk Menefee.